The troops who carry tracking devices are assigned to, what the equipment looks like, or where it's placed on the body. Just about every U.S. military vehicle in Iraq has GPS or another type of electronic tracking device so their commanders can monitor them. It's called Blue Force tracking. Some law enforcement units back home have experimented with chips that give physical data about officers but don't have tracking signals. U.S. military officials say soldiers and Marines in most regular combat units in Iraq, like the Missing Soldiers Division, are not outfitted with tracking devices. One reason? The danger involved if a soldier carrying one gets captured.
That provides certain options for the adversary. If he knows that this is a tracker and somebody's going to come back and get this tracker because they think it's associated with a human being, they have the ability to set up an ambush for whatever unit's going to come back and try and find this unit.
One option, placing a tracking microchip under a service member's skin. Former U.S. Special Operations officers tell us they believe that's being developed. Current military officials won't comment on that, Wolf.
Yeah, what about the cost, Brian? Is that at all a consideration?
It's a big consideration. Just about every former officer I spoke with says the cost of outfitting each combat troop with a tracking device is one of the main reasons they don't have them right now.
So when you speak with the various special operations types and others, and I know you've been doing a lot of reporting on this, the pros and cons of having these kinds of tracking devices, what do they say, Brian?
Some believe that every service member should have them. Some don't because of the risks we talk about. But others say if they can deal with the cost and pay for all of this, it is worth it not only to track missing troops, but to be able to tell friendlies from enemies on the battlefield.
Brian Todd reporting for us, by the way, are not just tools for war. They're also tools that could keep all of us and all of our families safe. We saw that back in February when 3 mountain climbers and their dog were stranded overnight on Oregon's Mount Hood. Rescuers found them all safe by tracking their mountain locator unit, a device similar to the one seen here. Also, many models of cell phones use GPS tracking software that could locate you in case of an emergency. There are also several products available to keep track of children. Many of them act as emergency cell phones and tracking devices, with some even able to display on a map the places your child has visited. Still ahead tonight.
Hello everyone, welcome to Global Government News. Today is Friday, December 17th, 2010, and I'm Darko. Welcome to this War on Terror, Liberty, Sovereignty news segment. New listeners, please visit my website, www.ggnonline.com. That's ggnonline.com. And I'm just going to just give you my thoughts on that video while I have it fresh in my brain. Them talking about, oh, they're being developed as far as the ones under the skin. I'm sure they already have them developed. And you notice how Wolf was cut into the other parts, and that's why I stopped the video and restarted it again, because I thought it was going to be over. No, they're selling it to the slaves like it's some kind of product. It's the media. The media is part of this military-industrial complex that you always hear people talking about. That's all they're doing. They're public relations for these big corporations. That it's all about spying and surveillance and data mining and all of that good stuff. And did you notice that he also said what? Oh, and some cell phones have GPS. No, all of them there, Wolf. All of them are little GPS trackers. They're also able to listen. Those little microphones are also able to be remotely tapped into, and you can be listened to even without the battery in. So. I'm sorry, even with it turned off. So I don't know about the battery out. I removed the battery because maybe I'm just that paranoid, but I think there's actually another battery in the cell phone when you take the battery out that allows the microphone or camera to be activated remotely. So he went to that, and then yeah, he was just using all these other ways to keep safe. And I'm just thinking, I'm like, man, all of this to keep people safe, and they just don't see it. They think technology is their buddy. They think technology is their friend. Well, it's not your friend, man. It's going to enslave you even more. I don't see how people don't understand this. Are they that spineless? Are they that scared? Man up, man. Even if you're a girl, you know, get some pepper spray. Get a what are those? Not a taser, but a handheld taser. Get a firearm. Learn how to defend yourself. Shit, man. Don't be such cowards, man. We are just surrounded by nothing but spineless cowards in this society, in this world today, man. Everybody's so afraid. They're scared shitless of everything, of the boogeyman, of terrorists, of the biggest people you have to be worried about. And I want to make this point is everybody's so worried about their information being stolen, their identity being stolen. Dude, I don't know anybody that's happened to. I mean, I'm not saying that doesn't happen. I'm just saying that I think this phenomenon is an illusion. It's overblown. Just like terrorism, it's all an illusion. I mean, the biggest terrorists are the government. The biggest people you have to worry about in regards to your privacy is the government. They're tracking everything. As we speak right now as you're listening to me, when I recorded this and uploaded, it had to go through Google, through the NSA. It had to go through a government little filter. And eventually they're going to turn that filter off. And then, you know what? Everybody will just keep going along their way, and they'll take all these little gadgets and think that everything's hunky-dory. UN panel to investigate Haiti cholera outbreak. And, of course, the UN's going to investigate themselves because they're the ones that brought it. Very, very good and balanced a way of going about things, right? American aid worker jailed in Haiti kidnap case. Says here an American who said he shuttered his construction business to help victims of the Haiti earthquake is now jailed in Port-au-Prince on charges he kidnapped a child. And it goes on, and this actually seems like a something doesn't sound right, because this person that they're accusing him of kidnapping actually was killed, or was that's what it was, that they were declared dead in the spring, months before he was even accused of this, basically cholera. So this next one up, Bill Clinton asserts confidence in fed up Haiti. The way I read this, he asserts confidence. That means he's trying to push confidence. They're not confident in Haiti. I can guarantee that. That's why this douchebag is there. This is his baby. It's his baby. It's his eugenics baby, to make sure that the population goes down, the numbers go down, people are sick, and all that. And you know, I read this, and it said, former U.S. President Bill Clinton declared his confidence in Haiti's post-quake reconstruction effort Wednesday, making a one-day visit, just like Sarah Palin, right? A one-day visit. They fly in and get the hell out, because I know when Whitey comes in that they're basically going to get the brunt of the violence, because it's going to be aimed at them, because the people there aren't stupid. They know that it's rich white people like him and them that are causing all of this. And you can say amid civil unrest, well, there's civil unrest because there was an earthquake and they never got any help and all that. Then rampant disease, well, there's rampant disease because the UN brought it in and they also vaccinated them. And the earthquake was caused by, well, like HARP-type technology. I produce a video on that. Do I know 100% it was caused by HARP or that type weapon, a tectonic weapon? No, I don't. But when I went on HARP's website and I just did a little research, it seemed as if they were. So I'm going to move on here. New York City starts billing residents when ambulances show up to treat your injuries. Normally it's paid through your taxes. Now they want you to pay even more. So Army birther pleads guilty of one of two charges. An Army doctor who disobeyed orders to deploy to Afghanistan because he questioned President Barry Soetoro's eligibility for office pleaded guilty Tuesday to one of the two charges against him. And you move on here, and it says here, military jury, prison dismissal for Army birther, an Army doctor who disobeyed orders to deploy to Afghanistan because he questioned his Fuhrer's eligibility to be commander-in-chief, and was sentenced by a jury Thursday to 6 months in military prison and dismissal from the Army. And that's a pretty big deal, man. This guy was 17 years in, man. He had 3 years to go until he had a full pension, full, basically he'd be getting paid, dude. Retirement. So, I mean, I salute you, dude. As a former Marine, I salute you, dude. Wow. Yeah, I mean, it's ridiculous, dude. It is pretty ridiculous. I have my own theory, but it's not really my theory. It's Freeman from the Freeman Perspectives theory that Clinton, President Clinton, the person you just saw in Haiti, basically he was there to make a fool out of the role as a president. And me, I'm kind of an anarchist, and now I don't really believe in statism. And so I'll just go out here and just let you know that. But anyways, an American president is supposed to be kind of a prestigious position. And so the powers that be want to make sure that as we go into this non-democratic global government that we're in, that people realize that. So with Clinton, they had to tear down the president as kind of a noble person, someone that people respect. Because after Clinton, with the whole McDonald's and Monica Lewinsky, that was it. That was done. The image of the U.S. president was washed up. Then you had Bush, and that presidency was all about basically showing the American people that they don't have to vote for anybody and that their vote doesn't count because they just forced him into office. He was a citizen, though. And then the third part was Obama. Now, the point of this presidency was to show you that not only can they, have a black individual. He's not even really black. He's half white and half black, or quarter African and a quarter Middle Eastern, and then half white. So the point was, besides doing that, besides having a puppet that was a minority, was that they could have a president that wasn't even a natural-born citizen. So you see those three things they accomplished with the U.S. president. So moving on here, Afghan war review shows tilt to hitting militants. The latest White House review of the war in Afghanistan to be released Thursday will show that coalition forces have relied heavily on airstrikes and night raids against insurgents as part of the overall strategy, U.S. and NATO officials said. All right, moving on here. Update 7. Despite bloodshed, it says here, Obama touts Afghan war progress. U.S. still poised to start withdrawing troops in July 2011, which is it's a straight up lie, dude. It's a straight up lie. I've covered all the articles in the media that were out there in the past 6 months where basically your government has been talking about extending the troops timeline in Afghanistan and that in Pakistan until after 2014. After 2014. President Barack Obama told war-weary Americans on Thursday, they're not war-weary. Half of them don't even know there's a war going on. They're plebs. They're running around shopping, watching American Idol, whatever the hell it is that they watch now, stupid cop shows and whatever else. They don't even know there's a war going on. They won't know until they start getting beat over the head if they go to a protest because, they cut their Social Security. On Thursday, that's enough progress was being made in Afghanistan to begin withdrawing U.S. troops in July, even as he faces growing doubts about his war strategy. So we're going to move on here. Afghan war progress claim not credible. Reassuring claims about progress in the U.S.-led war in Afghanistan that were made in a recent White House review are not credible, says an expert. On Thursday, the United States declared progress in its war in Afghanistan despite the fact that the U.S.-led troops had the highest fatality rate in the Asian country in 2010. Says, quote, the idea that this report should be reassuring or show that the progress is being made, that the people should continue to rally behind the expenditure in lives and expenditure in resources for a war that has now gone on for 9 years. There is no credibility to that whatsoever. San Francisco-based Richard Becker from Answer Act Now to Stop War and End Racism Coalition said in an interview with Press TV on Friday. So we're going to keep moving here, and it says here, Gates' public opinion can't sway Afghan commitment. Again, what does this tell you guys? This tells you that you don't have a say. Whatever you think doesn't matter in policy making, right? So even if a majority of Americans want the war to end, they'll continue it, right? They'll be basically what they'll say is, oh, Americans, you're too feeble-minded, you're too stupid to understand and realize the complexities of the global threats, right? Oh, it's like, well, hey, you assholes, you started it all. If we didn't have you, we wouldn't have all of this, all of these threats, right? Let's move on here. Suicide bombers kill at least 39 in southwest Iran. Suicide bombing at Iran mosque kills scores during Shia holiday. Obama claims sympathy for Iranian victims without mentioning that the U.S. funded the killers, the Jundallah. This is GGN, and I am Darko. Please join me for part 2 of this War on Terror, Liberty, Sovereignty news segment. Thank you.